Yay.
Thank you. We're glad you made it, Naomi. We're just getting started. So glad you could be here, everyone. My name is Sue. I'm in Fort Myers, Florida. And this is a Collective College 2023 session on warm-ups. And I'd have a little different take on warming up because there's lots of things that go together in this world, you know, fish and chips for you guys in England, and cookies and milk. You know, we talked about that earlier, or biscuits and milk. And, you know, breathing and singing, they kind of go together, breathing and singing. And so instead of focusing on breath support to, you know, extend our breathing and all that, I just want to talk a little bit today and do a couple exercises on breath awareness, because it's something that I think most people take advantage of. You know, our body just breathes in and out hundreds of times a day, and we don't really think about it. And we use it when we sing, of course. We have to have breath support. We have to take ninja breaths. We have to do all of that stuff. But, you know, when you can become aware of your breathing, and you can use your breath for a lot more things than just survival. And one of the things you can use your breath for is that you can use your breath to learn how to calm yourself or to sort of center yourself. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, singing usually requires a certain amount of focus. It often has me in a position where I am singing in front of people. I'm in a chorus. I sing in a quartet. And so for me, sometimes the breath just brings me, it centers me, and it allows me to focus and be calm then when I need to go on stage, or when I need to sing, or when I need to do something like this, talk in front of people. So before I go into a couple little things that I want to teach you about breath, I just want to make sure that we're in the right posture, because this is about our bodies and about breath, and in relation to singing, and we always have to use our best posture. So I just want to make sure that when we're sitting or standing, you can stand if you want to, and you can stand for the whole 15 or 20 minutes of this session, or you can sit for the whole thing, whatever you want to do, but it's kind of the same. So we're going to pretend that there's a string of sorts from the top of our head. You've heard this before. We're going to have our head on top of our shoulders that are relaxed. There's space between our ears and our shoulders. Our shoulders are on top of our hips. We know where our ribs are. We can feel them when we're breathing. If you're sitting, it's good that you are sitting sort of on the edge of your seat with your feet on the floor about hip distance apart. If you're short like I am, and I found out earlier today that Debbie and Paula and I both hover around 5'1", sometimes chairs are too tall. If that's true for you, where you do your sitting and you're working or you're singing, get a little footstool and put your feet on a footstool so that you're not putting pressure on your lower back. Your legs, if you're sitting, should sort of be parallel to the floor. Your feet should be hip distance apart. So if we start in that position, that's a good position to sing or just to sit. And I am going to do a little tiny bit of physical movement before we do the breathing. So for me, I try to exhale and make sure I'm relaxed just for a minute, so you can breathe out if you want to. Shh. Make a sound if you want to. Shh. And I try to breathe in through my nose when I'm breathing and doing these exercises, because there's little filters in your nasal passageways that don't exist in your mouth. Your body was created to breathe through your nose, not through your mouth. So when we sing, we always breathe through our mouth. We have to. But when you're doing vocal exercises, it's good to breathe in through your nose, and you can breathe out through your nose or your mouth, whichever is easiest for you. So I'm going to do the classic little mini warm-up where you're going to just follow me. I'm not going to say right or left because we're all in different positions. So my right might be your left. So you're just going to exhale, breathe in, slowly look over your shoulder as far as you can go. Don't ever do anything that hurts you, and modify any movement. Come back to center that you don't feel comfortable doing. We're going to look the other way. Remember to breathe here. We're going to do that one more time, one side. You can breathe in, breathe out when you come back to center. Go to the other side, breathe in, breathe out. Now we're just going to drop our ear to our shoulder. We can't really do that, but we're going to try and make some space on this side. You can feel the stretch. Come back up, over to the other side. Come back to center. One more time to the shoulder. Back to center. One more time to the other side. Come on back in. And now if any of you ever worked in a restaurant, most of us did, I think, when we were kids, we're going to be servers now. One hand is going to go up and one hand is going to go down like this. So you can breathe in and stretch. Up high. You can feel that. I feel it in my rib cage on one side especially, and then do the other way. Come back down one more time, up with one hand, stretch. I don't bend on the sides like most people do because I have back issues. So I modify my exercise. I'm going to switch to the other side. Here we go. And then come down, shake it out. I like to stretch my arms out as far as I can and give myself a hug because I showed up today. And so did you. And I'm going to cross the other way and give myself a hug. Okay. So that's a little bit of a physical warm up, and that sort of gets me centered. And then the breath activity that I want to talk to you about is called, some people call it 16 seconds. I know people that call it box breathing. Some people call it square breathing. And basically, this is what we're going to do. And I'll show you with my hands, and I will count for you so you don't have to do anything right now except listen and watch. We're going to breathe in for 4 counts, and I'll move my hands up like this. We're going to hold it for 4. We're going to breathe out for 4, and then we're going to hold empty for 4. And then we're going to do it again like this, all the way down, and I'll count for you. And what I want you to think of before we get started right now is I want you to think how you feel inside. What's your level of calm? On a scale from like 1 to 10, are you really so calm that you could just relax? Let's say you're a 10. Are you, actually, it should be the other way around. You're very calm, you're at a 0, no stress. If you're not calm, you're at a 10. You're worried. You've got your monkey mind going on. You're thinking about the next session you're going to attend. Are you going to get enough sleep? What are you going to have for dinner tomorrow? What's going on with the pets? You know, all the stuff all day long. So 0 means we're super calm. We could fall asleep. 10 means it's revving up like it usually does. And I don't know about you, but the minute I press the record button on this thing, when I have to submit a recording, everything starts going. So I try to do this kind of thing before then so that I can calm myself down. You can do this exercise with your eyes open or closed. It doesn't matter. I'm going to keep my eyes open so I don't lose track of where I am. And I would suggest that when you start this, you exhale. And like I said earlier, you can exhale through your mouth if you want to, but when you're breathing in, it's best to breathe in through your nose for this kind of exercise. Okay, so everybody, I'm going to ask you to exhale. Ready? Exhale. Shh. And now on my count, you're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold empty, 2, 3, 4, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Empty, 2, 3, 4. And we're done. You can open your eyes if they were closed. You can go back to breathing normally. But what I want you to think about right now is, where are you on your calm? Is your number a little bit lower than it was before we started? Are you still thinking about that thing that you were thinking about before we started, or did that just go away? Because we're counting and we're breathing and we're staying calm. So that's square breathing or box breathing. I use that if I'm trying to go to sleep at night and I can't fall asleep. I use it if I'm in the wrong line at the grocery store. I'm always in the wrong line at the grocery store. I'm starting to think it's me. I use it when I'm in the car, when I'm driving. I don't close my eyes, but if there's a traffic situation that I have no control over, I can calm myself and just realize everything's fine, just breathe. Okay, so does anybody have any questions about that little square exercise? Because I have a couple more I can share. Anybody have a question? Yes, Miss Paula.
Just have one additional place where I use that box breathing. That is at the dentist, because I get myself so tense and it's not going to hurt any less. So just relax, and it works. It really works. There's no reason why my ears have to be attached to my shoulders, because
No.
it's not going to hurt any less if I'm tense. So I do it, and I love that one. I just love it.
It's a great thing to use for any medical situation. Like when you're going in to get blood work done, or they're taking your blood, they're doing your blood pressure. You can calm yourself down. That's great. I do it then too. There's a Carol, did you have your hand up?
I did. I just wanted to say that sometimes when you're not feeling well, when I'm not feeling well, I can't do it that slowly, because I feel like I'm getting out of breath. So I have to speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, and that's fine. To adjust it. That's exactly what you should do, is do what's good for you.
Yeah.
That's always true. That's a good thing to say. I'm glad you said that. There's a variation on that where you breathe in for 3, hold for 4, and breathe out for 5. That's one that I've done also. That the image of the box or the square helps me remember that it's 4, 4, 4, 4. There's also another exercise that I think is kind of interesting, and I use this one. It has helped me a lot, especially when I'm trying to sleep, and I have trouble sleeping. And this one is interesting, and we'll do it a little bit. You breathe in for a certain count, and then you breathe out for one more count, and then you breathe in for that count, and you breathe out for one more count. So I'm going to start with breathing in for 4, and I'm just going to take it to 8, but you'll see, and I will guide you through it. So if you want to just exhale, and then I'll count for you. So you can do this again, eyes open or closed, doesn't matter. So exhale, breathe in, 1, 2, 3, breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and breathe out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can open your eyes and come back. And that works better for me than counting sheep anytime when I'm trying to go to sleep. And sometimes I don't even get to like 10 or 12 and I'm out. So that's another way to use your breath to help you just calm and center and be ready for a performance. Does anybody have any questions or anything to say? Or Deb, Miss Debbie.
I found that second one not as easy to relax because I was worried, thinking
You're
what number
thinking.
came next. How many?
Right.
Where am I? I'm a 7. I'm a 8. So I
Right.
think, yeah, it's not quite as. It's great when somebody's counting for you, isn't it? But it's not quite as relaxing when you've got to do the maths yourself.
Right. You're right. Absolutely. Yes. Beth.
I found that second one, and actually I had this happen in an exercise we did at chorus a couple of weeks ago, where we had to breathe in for a longer count, and I'd already breathed fully by 5, and I still had to fill in the time for 8, and it's like I literally can't jam any more air in. The breathing out bit for longer and longer was fine, but the breathing in for longer, it's like I got there too quickly.
Right. And that's something, I guess you can build your capacity for breath. So start with 1, then do 1, 2, out for 2, in for 3, out for 3, in for 4, and do it what's best for you. You don't have to start with a higher number, you know. Anybody else have anything they want to say? Or there you go. Well, I mean, it's 8:39. Look at that. I got 1 more minute, but thank you. And the breath is really important in singing. It's really important in living. And we take it for granted sometimes. So it's just nice to take a minute and focus on that wonderful life-sustaining gift that we all have, which is our breath. So thanks for coming.
Okay, now everybody breathe in, hold it till I count to 3 and take a photo, right? Yeah. Ready? All right, here we go. Hang on just a minute. There, you ready? I'll let you know. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thanks, John. Nice to see you. Carol, you still have your 4th of July background. I love it.
Yeah, well,